Okay, hello everyone. Hope you have understood the last lecture. We have discussed about the Gauss theorem and its one application, that electric field due to a line charge. Now, today we will discuss the second application of the Gauss theorem, that electric field due to the infinite sheet of a charge. Suppose that we are having this infinite sheet that having charge plus q inside it. Okay, plus q charge. Now we want to apply Gauss theorem here. So what the Gauss theorem condition? We must require a closed surface. So here on a plane sheet I will draw any cylinder, this one like this, the cylinder we can draw. This one cylinder will a closed surface. Now here three surfaces are there: surface 1, surface 2 and third surface. Now up to here I hope you understood that electric field lines is moving away, means this direction, away from the positive charge in this side direction. And for the surface 1, the area vector is outward direction, this side. And for the surface 2, area vector is this direction, area vector, and for this surface area vector is downside, perpendicular outside we have to take area vector. Okay, now from the Gauss theorem we are knowing the formula phi is equal to, from the Gauss theorem phi will equal to q over epsilon naught, and we want to calculate total electric flux. So the total electric flux will be equal to electric flux of first surface plus electric flux of second surface plus electric flux of third surface. Now clearly you will see from here, we will consider for first surface electric flux. For first surface, electric field lines is also from right to left, and area vector is also along outside direction. So the angle between electric field and area vector is 0. So electric flux will equal to E dot dA, like this will be there na, E dot dA, dot will be removed, cos 0 is 1, E dA. Similarly for second surface, the angle between area vector and electric flux is 0, E dA cos 0, E dA. And for electric flux for third surface, that area vector is perpendicular, means like this one, area vector, electric field lines. This side the angle between is 90, cos 90 is 0, so E dA cos 90 will equal to 0. So we will fill the values here. So the total electric flux will equal to E dA plus E dA, or you can also write down phi total will equal to E into 2A, total area. Okay, and total electric flux according to Gauss theorem is q over epsilon naught, that E into 2A. So the electric field will equal to this one. Now for the surface charge density, suppose that the surface charge density of this plane surface sheet is sigma. Okay, sigma, and we are knowing the formula surface charge density sigma is equal to q over A, and q will equal to sigma A. Line charge distribution, surface charge distribution, volume charge distribution. From the surface charge distribution, sigma is equal to charge over area, so charge will equal to surface into area, sigma A over epsilon naught, E into 2A, A will be cancel out, and electric field will be equal to sigma over 2 epsilon naught. So this was the electric field due to an infinite plane sheet of charge. We will use this expression in next derivation also. Now this expression we will use in next derivation, that we will prove electric field due to a two infinite parallel sheets of a charge. Now here in first case we have taken only one plane sheet, but here you have to take two plane parallel infinite sheets. Suppose that this one sheet and this one is a second sheet, and charge in that sheet is plus Q. Okay, and suppose that this one is A and B, two sheets we have taken, and surface charge density for that A sheet is sigma A, and surface charge density for B sheet is, that is sigma B. Okay, now we want to calculate electric field due to three reasons, that first, second and third reason. Okay, now you can see that for the reason 1, the electric field lines move along, but in which direction? It will be moved from right to left, means in this direction. Okay, and the area vector is also outside electric field lines. Okay, area vector also, angle between that is 0, and it is moving opposite to the direction of positive, means right to left. Positive we are considering, but it is moving from we are considering left to right as a positive, but it is moving right to left, so surface charge density for A will equal to 0. Now we will calculate the electric field for the first reason. For in first reason, that reason the electric field lines is moving from from right to left, so the electric field for the one sheet, that is sigma over 2 epsilon naught. So for the first plane A sheet, that will equal to minus sigma A over 2 epsilon naught plus minus sigma B over 2 epsilon naught. For first reason we are considering. So for the first reason, for this reason also, that electric field lines is moving from this side. Okay, so the total electric field for the first reason, that is 1 over 2 epsilon naught sigma A plus sigma B. Now some students having doubt how the minus came. Okay, now the minus, you have to know about the rule. If the electric field lines is, we are taking from left to right, the sign convention saying positive, but now in this case the electric field lines is from right to left, negative, means this side. For first reason you will see that the electric field lines moving away from the positive charge, means from right to left side. Okay, now similarly for the second B surface, this side, okay, from right to left, then the surface charge density you will take a minus. Now in reason second, electric field, now in this reason the electric field, now it is moving in this direction for first surface A, and for this surface it is moving in this side. So the surface charge density in second case will be, first surface is positive, and for this B surface is negative. So electric field will be equal to 1 over 2 epsilon naught sigma A minus sigma B. For in reason third, now the electric field for the surface A is from left to right, for the surface B also left to right, so surface charge density sign will be positive. sigma A over 2 epsilon naught plus sigma B over 2 epsilon naught. So E will equal to 1 over 2 epsilon naught sigma A plus sigma B. Now the last special case is if we consider sigma A is equal to sigma and sigma B will equal to minus sigma, then the result follows that the electric field is 0 in the region first and third. Okay, now in the region first and third the electric field will be 0. Fill the value sigma minus sigma 0, sigma minus sigma, it will be 0. But in the region second electric field will be equal to 1 over 2 epsilon naught sigma plus sigma, so it will be sigma over epsilon naught. So this was the cases when the electric field due to the two infinite plane parallel sheets of charge, so the electric field having surface charge over epsilon naught one constant. Okay, now the next topic is the application of Gauss theorem or law is that electric field due to a uniform charge spherical shell. Suppose that this spherical shell we have taken and the center of this spherical shell is O, and this distance from the spherical shell from this point is R. Okay, and the charge on the spherical shell is plus Q. First step. Now the second step, we have to choose a closed surface. Suppose that we are drawing any circle, so this is our Gaussian surface. Okay now, and the distance from O to Gaussian surface is smaller. Okay, and for this surface we want to calculate electric field for this whole surface. Okay, if you have seen the first lecture of this Gauss theorem, we have proved that for the spherical surface Gauss theorem that we cannot calculate for the whole surface, but if we are considering a small points, small area, then we can calculate for the spherical shell also. Suppose that at any point P here I want to calculate electric flux. Okay, now from the plus positive charge electric field is moving away, and the area vector is also outside direction, means in this direction is only area vector and in this direction electric field at this surface. So the angle between area vector and electric field is 0. So in the spherical shell we will discuss three cases: when the point P is the outside from the shell, when the point P is on the shell, and when the point P is inside the shell. So first we will discuss the first point. Okay, when the first case, when the point P lies outside the spherical shell, now we have taken any small area and the area vector is outside, electric field is moving away from the positive charge. So the electric flux for the small area vector is d phi will equal to E dot ds, and the angle between electric field and the area vector is 0, so electric flux will be equal to E ds. Now the electric field lines along the surface or along the shell is uniform, so E will be constant, and the surface area of the spherical shell is surface area of shell, spherical shell, is equal to 4 pi r square. The distance from O to P is small r, so our value of ds is equal to 4 pi r square. This is closed surface. Okay na. So this is for that small surface. For the whole surface, if you want to calculate, integrate the first expression, then phi will equal to surface E ds, electric field is constant ds, so E multiply surface 4 pi r square will equal to electric flux. So phi will equal to this one, and according to Gauss theorem, according to Gauss law, electric flux is equal to charge over epsilon naught. using A, use A in 2, give this expression number 2. So E into 4 pi r square will equal to Q over epsilon naught, and E value will equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q over r square. So this was the electric field value when any point P is on the Gaussian surface. Now the second point we will discuss the second point when the point P lies on the surface of a shell. Now see the diagram. Now when this point P is on this surface at this point, then the distance from O to this P point is r. From the distance from this to P point is capital R. So all the derivation, all the explanation is same, but only difference is that R will equal to capital R and electric field is equal to Q over R square. Nothing, no difference, only the difference is this R value, that when the point P will be on this surface, that small r will equal to capital R. And when the third point, now when the point P lies outside, when the point P lies inside the spherical shell, then now when the point P lies inside the spherical shell, now see the diagram. When this point P will be inside the spherical shell, then the distance r or capital R will be equal to 0, or you can say that the charge will equal to 0 because the charge is only spread outside the surface or on the surface, not in the surface. Okay na? In such cases the Gaussian surface through the point P will not enclose any charge, so the Q will equal to 0. When the Q will equal to 0, then electric field inside the spherical shell will equal to 0. So this was the formulas when the point P lies outside the spherical shell, inside the spherical shell, on the spherical shell. Okay na? So these are the three applications that we have discussed about the Gauss law. Hope you will understand. If anyone having doubt, they can clear their doubt in the comment box. Okay, thank you.